There's a communist takeover of the capitalism capital of the world as Zohran Mamdani, a socialist, wins mayoral elections of New York. As the Wall Street scrambles to shield itself from some commie chill this winter, we take a hard look at Mamdani economics for New York. Also, vibe coding is the word of the year, or actually two as per Collins' dictionary. So let's join the vibes. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on your favorite deep dive show, Get Me Right, only on Republic TV.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
India is all set to conduct a large-scale tri-services military exercise named Exercise Trishul along the western border near the disputed Sir Creek area. This exercise will involve the Army, Navy and Air Force and is being called unprecedented in both scale and operational complexity. Satellite images analyzed by defense experts show that the airspace reserved for the exercise will extend up to 28,000 feet. This is unusual for a routine military drill and indicates the seriousness with which India is approaching this operation. The exercise will run from October 30 to November 10. Under the umbrella of Exercise Trishul, India's armed forces are set to conduct joint operations across diverse terrains, from offensive maneuvers in the Sir Creek and desert sectors to amphibious drills off the Saurashtra coast and multi-domain exercises involving cyber, electromagnetic and unmanned systems. The army has reportedly deployed more than 20,000 soldiers along with main battle tanks, howitzers, armed helicopters and various missile systems. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force will soon initiate high-tempo operations known as the Maha Gurjar military exercise, fielding frontline fighters like the Rafales and Su-30 MKIs, special mission aircraft.
Hi there, welcome back to your favorite deep dive show on stories contemporary and consequential for India. This week, a tectonic shift happened in American politics. On the face of it, it's just a city mayor's election. But Zohran Mamdani becoming the mayor of New York is much more than that. Not just a fracture in American politics, but an existential dilemma for the world capital of capitalism. A socialist ruling the mecca of capitalism is worth an analysis. And then, a quick one on the word of the year by Collins' dictionary, vibe coding. Were our Rishi Munis already doing that millennia ago? Let's get going.
No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election.
My name is Khan and I am not a terrorist. That well could have been one of the many campaign punchlines of Zohran Mamdani, the Indian origin mayor-elect of New York. It almost was. The victory speech did not fail to mention that Islamophobia bit, which formed a key pillar of his campaign. But listen to this. An old clip of Mamdani that went viral during the election, where he's seen playing the victimhood card around post 9/11 New York.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
He claimed his aunt stopped taking the subway post 9/11 as she felt unsafe in her hijab. Only that his aunt never lived in New York at that time, according to Fox News. Such drama. He gaslighted during the campaign that Muslims cannot be New Yorkers due to the prevailing atmosphere of Islamophobia. It's a little rich from a guy whose parents escaped Idi Amin's persecution in Uganda. Idi Amin was not a Christian nor Hindu. He was born to Kalma and bred at a madrasa before joining the Ugandan army. By all accounts, Mamdani has weaponized his faith to an extent that he campaigned on Pakistani news TV to fish for Muslim votes in New York's 5 boroughs. There's a meme fest, from showing a Mamdani aircraft ramming into WTC towers to the Statue of Liberty in a burqa. Others showing Mamdani in Fidel Castro getup. He has, in media interviews, said he would arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, despite knowing that the United States is not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, and the arrest warrant is not applicable as per US law. What the heck? Irrespective of whether Netanyahu can be arrested in New York or not, Mamdani did arrest some floating anti-Israel votes. The most preposterous Muslim victimhood peddling I found was in the clip where he's heard claiming that there are perhaps no Gujarati Muslims left. Listen to it.
My father, his family comes from Gujarat in India, and his family is Muslim, I'm Muslim. And Narendra Modi helped to orchestrate what was a mass slaughter of Muslims in Gujarat, to the extent that we don't even believe there are Gujarati Muslims anymore. And when I tell someone that I am, it's a shock to them that is even the case. And this is someone who we should view in the same manner that we do Benjamin Netanyahu.
It would be diabolical if it were not stupid. Ask me. I am from Gujarat, and I know a thing or two about Gujarati Muslims, including one, Zafar Sareshwala in the present, and one Jinnah Bhai of the past. But then, as in the case of Netanyahu, so in the case of Prime Minister Modi, Mamdani campaign pitch was lots of gaslighting. Look at this video of Mr. Nobody heckling to get attention, but an ambitious Mr. Nobody nevertheless. He's seen taking on Tom Homan, Trump's border czar in charge of throwing out illegals and securing American borders. This was a key pillar of Trump's mandate last year. But Mamdani gaslighting continues. Listen to this bit of his speech.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties.
This is how he reads the mandate. This program has maintained that the United States is going through a fracture in its politics that's left asunder all middle space. If with Trump win, the pendulum swung one extreme to the right because of the Biden administration's overindulgence with woke liberalism, Mamdani victory has taken the pendulum to the other extreme. In fact, it amounts to a socialist takeover of the Democrat Party, given their failure to find a productive counter-strategy to deal with Trump. That's where the Americans should worry more. Listen to this socialist part of Mamdani's speech.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
This is a statement of intent on government's role in the lives of its citizens. It's not just from cradle to the grave. It is about an omnipresent government that has its finger in anything and everything, the communist ideal. This has got some scared. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis posted this: "I am from the government and I am here to help," in quotes. Because those were not his original words. DeSantis appears to be giving a reference to President Ronald Reagan's famous remark that he felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language were, "I am from the government and I am here to help." There's a reason why this is considered scary for New York, the global capital of capitalism. Because capitalism says, if you work hard, you can get ahead. You can get things done. You can succeed. Of course, the downside is, if you fail, you are solely responsible for yourself. Socialism, on the other hand, says, if you give power to the government, it will do everything for you. That individual's can-do spirit in capitalism is replaced by a collective handover of your destiny to the Pied Piper government. In this case, Mamdani, in communism. You stand absolved of any responsibility towards your own destiny. New York was not built in a day. New York has been the financial capital of the world for the last 150 years. And it took 100 years before that in the making. That's on the block now, or so it seems. The Arvind Kejriwal version of New York wants buses free, childcare free, ration free, housing free, or at least the rents inflation free. It's that freakonomics that's going to be the guiding philosophy as per the Mamdani campaign. Regulate the economy, tax the rich, redistribute wealth. Some American pundits have predicted dire consequences, including the Wall Street shifting to Texas or Florida, the Republican heavens, rather than be in the chokehold of far left of the Democrat establishment. Mamdani's election, in that sense, is akin to Mao's bombing of the headquarters when he captured the Communist Party of China. Well, almost. Mamdani's rent freezes and millionaire taxes are being called economic arson. There's a sense of déjà vu. In 1975, New York City faced a severe fiscal crisis that brought it to the brink of bankruptcy, leading to budget cuts, public service disruptions like strikes and garbage pileups. And a famous headline, Ford to City, drop dead. There was a Republican president, Gerald Ford. There was a Democrat mayor, Abraham Beam. Ford refused to bail out New York. Trump has already refused any fiscal support. The city is staring at a squeeze. Mamdani's socialism calls all capitalism theft. That's par for the course, perhaps. But interestingly, his socialism has evolved from the usual roti kapda makan version of New York to include free internet. Listen.
I'm a democratic socialist, and what socialism means to me is a commitment to dignity, a state that provides whatever is necessary for its people to live a dignified life. So the typical big three that we talk about are housing, healthcare, education. But frankly, if you look around in the moment of this pandemic, we see how many more things are necessary to live with a dignified life. We need our internet because we have all of our kids staying at home doing remote learning. And if you don't have internet, you can't be taught, you can't learn.
Imagine a pure play product of the most cutting edge of capitalism, is co-opted as a socialist need. There's a commie winter chill in New York. The Wall Street is bracing for taxes. Initially vocal against Mamdani's campaign, New York's financial elite is adjusting to the reality of a mayor who has openly challenged wealth concentration and corporate influence, according to media reports. As a capitalist city, it adores success. So we are seeing a turnaround, a tempered opposition, even a tepid welcome from the Wall Street, with the expectation that the commie winter chill does not become a scorching commie summer. And why not? If Mamdani can evolve socialism to include internet, the corporate czars are past masters at ideological gymnastics. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, who previously suggested Mamdani was more a Marxist than a socialist, and Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser both indicated they would work with the mayor-elect, as per Bloomberg. Bigger problem, however, could come from numbers. The New York City budget at around $116 billion is evenly matched, in the sense that there's no deficit as of now. But the Mamdani freebies could leave a gaping hole of $6 billion in his first year as mayor. The Citizens Budget Commission estimates the gaps for the second and third year of Mamdani's term at more than $10 billion each, a figure that will rise if Trump carries through his threat of federal aid cuts. Freebies come at a cost. When Arvind Kejriwal took over Delhi in 2015, the city-state's fiscal deficit was around rupees 1,000 crores. And when he left as chief minister last year, it was 6,500 plus crores, after a peak of rupees 9,193 crores in 2022-23. I'm of course not suggesting that Mamdani is the Kejriwal of New York. From 2019 to 2024, pretty much a Democrat period, New York City was the only one of the 10 largest cities in America with a significant increase in inequality when measured by the widely used Gini coefficient. The share of New Yorkers in poverty over those 4 years rose to 18% from 16%. Nationally, it was essentially flat at 12%. Childhood poverty fell nationally but rose to 1 in every 4 children in the city. People receiving cash public assistance or cash doles jumped 85% to 600,000 in those 4 years. Ultimately, these numbers might have created a constituency receptive to Mamdani's freebies. There's a joke going around New York's streets, at least among the Republicans. The city is now North Korea with a dash of Sharia. The city that never sleeps is rather sleepless. Moving on. It's that time of the year when the more famous dictionaries announce the word of the year to capture the zeitgeist of the times we live in. The Collins Dictionary has declared vibe coding as the word of the year 2025. It sounds like some Gen Z TikTok trend or a new yoga pose perhaps. But it is actually about high-tech made simple, like literally lowbrow. I sort of got excited about this choice because in an episode on AI sometime around April, I had delved briefly on the phenomenon. The word or phrase itself is of this year's origin, coined in February by OpenAI co-founder Andrej Karpathy. In the tech world, there's the hardware, the machine, the physical stuff like the computer and the motherboard or the GPU, and then there's the software, the program that runs the machine and makes it do those things, the invisible wizardry that makes the computers do those cool things. From that UPI transaction to the doctor's appointment to your phone popping up offers from your favorite restaurant since you ordered on your friend's girlfriend's birthday. At the heart of it all is the software, the code, the alphabet soup of which the software is made. It's rather geeky stuff. It's the real tech, the building block. The code is what software engineers do. It is the alpha and the omega of the digital age. The websites, the apps, the programs, the entire suite. It's all code. Lines and lines of a language that can be gobbledygook for the hoi polloi. The software engineers, the geeks, of course, know it all and commanded a premium for that. The chosen ones. Writing code was hard. It required years of study, a tolerance for bugs, like the digital kind, not the creepy crawly ones, and a deep, almost spiritual relationship with what is called the stack. Commanded, I said, not commanding now. For theoretically, it is all in the past. With the advent of AI and the tremendous compute power made available, you can literally write the code yourself now. If you are a person of above average intelligence and know with clarity how your bread is buttered, AI would butter it for you. The AI just does it. No syntax errors, no semicolons, no tears, no need to learn Python, the language of the code. You just need to be smart enough to instruct the AI. Or to put it simply, just vibe with it. That's vibe coding. It's like having a genie, but instead of granting you 3 wishes, it gives you infinite apps. Karpathy came up with the name to represent how AI can let the lay people, as much as the engineers, code or write the software, just by vibing with it. By giving an AI tool a simple instruction, such as make me a program that schedules all my meetings over the coming week, or bring me a daily newsletter on stories related to my neighborhood appearing in media. People can use vibe coding to make basic apps without any previous programming knowledge. It democratizes software creation. It's like Canva for code. So your mother can build an app to track her knitting patterns, for example. Your dentist can create a chatbot to schedule appointments. And some more stuff. That's still the beginning. For more complicated tasks, one still requires coding skills that come with a software degree or certificate. For flying rockets in space or that winning algorithm to game the Wall Street, you still need to be trained. But vibe coding has opened up the field of creating digital platforms to non-coders, the lesser mortals. And here's the irony. That's one more career impacted by AI. This one is almost an act of cannibalization, where AI is eating up a job that began the road to artificial intelligence. It's the coders who wrote the first program of AI maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, and now have to live with the fact that the AI is making them obsolete, at least at the lower rung. It has happened with every tech evolution. Some might call it cannibalization, others might call it poetic justice. I just call it progress. Like when the printing press was invented, everyone could read and write books, not just a few highbrow monks in the Himalayas with great handwriting. In a few years, we will look back and wonder how we ever lived without it, just like we now wonder how we ever survived without Google Maps or the food delivery apps. So go ahead, start vibing. Build that app. Automate that task. Create that tool you have always dreamed of but never thought you could make. The AI is listening and it's ready to code. All you have to do is vibe. Like, if you can imagine it, the AI can deliver it. Imagine. That's the word. Remember our sages of yore from the times ancient? They would imagine flying from one place to another, and voila, they would actually fly. And you know what? While vibe coding is about writing a code that you do not need to write, even that flying bit, just by imagining, might become a reality. For those of you who are familiar with quantum physics and the cosplay between matter and antimatter, maybe someday we would just fly by imagining it. That's in future, of course. Thanks for watching.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
सबका राजा